World Youth Day 2011 is now officially in the books. We'll have more coming up for you in Catholic News Roundup.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. As you just heard from Michael Voris, who is in Madrid for World Youth Day coverage with our team from RealCatholicTV.com, World Youth Day has come to a close, and Mike is with us for a final wrap-up. Michael is standing by now with our last report from World Youth Day 2011 in Madrid.
Hello, Matthew. Yeah, the whole experience was draining, I can tell you, for the pilgrims and the crews covering them. Friday night in the Plaza de Cibeles, a massive crowd of close to 1 million people jammed all the approaches to the city center for the Stations of the Cross. Gigantic jumbotrons lined all the streets as pilgrims who could not get close enough, and believe us, that was most of them, could see the prayer service. The Pope presided at the prayers, which lasted for over an hour. As that was going on, thousands of anti-Pope protesters were again mustering a few blocks away and began marching down the street until armored police vehicles pushed them back up the street. Last night, Matthew, as most of the 1.5 million pilgrims had packed into the open-air field, a huge storm, brief but severe, blew through and shattered nerves for a few minutes, but after a while it was done and the drenched crowd settled down. The intense heat and warmth, even at night, helped dry up most things, and by the time the Holy Father arrived for the Mass at 9:30 in the morning, most everything was back to normal. In a phrase, Matthew, he said, "Preach the gospel." He reminded them of their duties to be faithful to the teachings of the Church and evangelize everyone they can. Also noteworthy here, during this World Youth Day, the Pope declared St. John of Avila the newest doctor of the Church. That brings the number now up to 34. St. John was a spiritual advisor to St. Teresa of Avila and very instrumental as she set about her work of reforming the Church.
That's great, Mike. We can hope all the pilgrims of World Youth Day return home carrying the example of St. John of Avila. And thank you, Mike, for all of your efforts in Madrid. We're looking forward to you coming home safely. Do you have anything else to add?
Just a quick reminder to check out our NoBullaMadrid.com website, where you will find our full coverage of news, Vortex, and our World Youth Day special reports from each day. And, of course, the 2 No Bulla Madrid talks, which were the subject of so much controversy. God bless you.
Thanks, Mike. We will be back in a few seconds with other news.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Same sex, a bad fit. A bridal shop in New Jersey is being raked over the coals by critics after refusing to sell a dress to a lesbian for her civil union ceremony. TheBlaze.com points out the incident has brought out overwhelming criticism, citing the business listings website Yelp, on which the wedding store's entry has morphed into a discussion forum on the issue with over 450 posts. After Alex Ginter crossed out the word, quote, groom on a form and put the word partner next to the name of the woman she was marrying, the owner of the store, Here Comes the Bride in Somerset, New Jersey, called Alex on the phone to inform her that she would not be providing the dress for her wedding. Consumerist, a website that rates retailers, reports that Donna, the owner of the store, told Ginter on the phone that she came from a good Jewish family, that it was a shame that she was gay, and went on to say that there was right and wrong and that this was wrong. You can read the full story on our resource page by clicking the link right outside the screen. Adoption woes in Illinois. A judge in the state of Illinois is embracing the homosexual agenda and exposing children to the dangers of disordered lifestyles by ruling against the adoption policies of Catholic charities. The case stems from the refusal of the state to recognize religious freedoms of Catholic charities to refuse the adoption of children out to same-sex couples after the government passed a law forcing Catholic foster homes to turn children over to disordered same-sex households. In the latest development, Sangamon County Circuit Judge John Schmidt is ruling against Catholic charities, completely glossing over the fact that it is indeed illegal for the state to take away their contract based on religious discrimination. Catholic Charities has had an agreement with the state for the past 4 decades, and this latest ruling will initiate the transfer of over 2,200 children from their foster homes to state social services. Washington's Slut Walk, a recently resolved scandal in Canada, has become the focus of a protest in front of the Washington Monument that involves screaming profanities, cross-dressing, and public nudity. Organizers claim the demonstration is in response to an already disciplined police officer in Toronto who recently apologized for saying if women want to avoid being raped, they shouldn't dress like sluts. The Washington Times reports that the so-called Slut Walk demonstrators say that they were there to celebrate, quote, the notion of sluttiness because it embraces the sexual autonomy of women and all people, end quote. Sponsors include the group HIPS, or Helping Individual Prostitutes Survive, as well as Love Voodoo, a so-called adult lifestyle dating site specializing in couples, singles, swingers, fetishism, nudism, voyeurism, and exhibitionism. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael talks about Americanism. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.